I never thought that such a tiny sound could make my heart race like that. It was not the chirping of a bird, nor the buzz of an insect, but a faint, trembling sound, like a cry for help. I stopped in my tracks, looked up to search around, but saw nothing. Then my eyes landed on a tiny figure in a damp corner of the ground, near the base of an old tree. My heart tightened. It was a baby squirrel, so small it could fit right in the palm of my hand, lying completely still. Its fur was soaked, clinging to its skin, and its eyes were shut tight, as if it no longer had the strength to open them. I bent down, leaned in close, and realized it was still breathing. Very faintly, very weakly, like it was about to fade away. In that moment, every sound around me seemed to blur. I only knew one thing. If I did not act right away, I would lose it. Forever. In that moment, I knew I did not have time to think. Just a few minutes too late, and it might not still be here. I dropped to my knees, gently sliding my hands underneath that tiny body. Ice cold. Its heartbeat was faint, like it could stop at any second. I pressed it tightly against my chest, trying to share my warmth and shield it from the chilly wind blowing through. I did not dare let myself imagine the worst. I picked up my pace, racing toward home. Each beat of my heart seemed to echo the fragile rhythm of its breathing. Hang in there. Do not give up. I kept repeating those words like a prayer, and in that instant I understood. I would do everything I could to bring this little life back. As soon as I stepped into the house, I placed it on the table and quickly grabbed a soft cotton towel, wrapping its soaked little body completely. Its fur clung tightly to the skin, so cold that it took several minutes for the warmth from my hands to seep through the layers of fabric. I turned on a small heater and placed it nearby, letting the gentle warmth surround the tiny trembling body. Next, I reached for the special replacement milk for baby squirrels that I always keep on hand for emergencies. I warmed a few drops and placed them into a small cubic syringe. Carefully, I touched the tip of the syringe to its lips. At first, there was no response. My heart sank. I waited patiently, and then suddenly, a small swallow. I held my breath and tried another drop, another swallow. Hope began to flicker. I set an alarm to go off every 30 minutes so I could check on it, warm it, and feed it again. At times, it lay so still that I feared I was too late. I gently rubbed its tiny chest, held it close to my breast, and whispered, "Come on, little one." As if it heard me, its tiny ears gave a faint twitch, and its chest began to rise and fall once more. That entire night, I sat beside it, never letting go of the soft towel, listening intently to every fragile breath, every faint sound, every tiny movement felt like a miracle, and I knew I would not stop until it was safe. That night, the room was bathed in the soft glow of warm yellow light. But inside me, a storm was raging. Every time the alarm went off, I jumped up, gently unwrapped the towel to check on it. There were moments when its breathing was so faint, I had to lean in close just to feel it. A few times, it lay completely still, and my heart seemed to stop along with it. I rushed to gently rub its tiny chest, held it near my breath, and whispered, "Do not give up. I am right here." And then the slightest movement in its chest let me breathe again. The sound of rain outside the window fell in a steady rhythm, like a lullaby, but I could not sleep. I was terrified that if I closed my eyes, by the time I woke up, it might be too late. Every soft cry in the middle of the night felt like a reminder. It was still fighting. When dawn broke and gentle light filtered through the crack in the door, its round little eyes slowly opened. That gaze, weak but so deep, went straight to my heart. In that moment, I knew. It had chosen to stay, and I would be there by its side until it was truly strong. The days that followed felt like a slow-moving miracle unfolding right before my eyes. From a tiny creature barely clinging to life, it began to move more. Its once weak little legs now had the strength to push gently against the towel to turn itself over. Every time it did, I smiled. It was a sign that it was getting stronger. I kept feeding it milk regularly, drop by drop, with the same patience and care as if I were tending to a newborn baby. By the third day, it could keep its eyes open for longer stretches. Those shiny, jet-black eyes looked around with curiosity. Its tiny ears now stood upright, listening intently to every sound in the room. On the fifth day, I tried placing it on my open palm. To my surprise, it used all four shaky legs to crawl up my arm. Its soft little tail gently curled around my wrist like a warm thank you. For the first time, I heard the sound of it nibbling on a seed. That small, crackling noise was enough to make my heart swell with happiness. The room no longer felt like a place of anxious waiting. It was now filled with the sounds of life, the soft scratching of claws, tiny hops, and the cheerful crunch of seeds being eaten. Watching it take those wobbly little steps, I knew the day we would part ways was coming. And I was ready to face it, because that would mean it had truly defeated death. In the late afternoons, when sunlight streamed through the window, it would often find a spot in my lap to curl up and fall asleep. The feeling of its steady little breaths against my chest made me realize we had formed a bond deeper than words could ever express. Sometimes, its soft tail would gently wrap around my wrist, as if to remind me that it knew it was safe. But I also understood it was born to belong to the wild. And then the day came. I carried it out to the garden that led into the forest behind my house. It paused on my hand for a few seconds, hesitating, then suddenly turned its head. Those deep black eyes looked straight into mine. Without a word, I knew that was its goodbye and its thank you. As that tiny figure disappeared among the trees, I smiled, even as a quiet emptiness rose in my chest. From the edge of death, it had found life again, and I had found a friendship I would never forget. Maybe sometimes we save a little life, but in truth, they also save our hearts.